All right. The first question is, how
Okay.
often do you use social media and what platforms do you use?
So I would say that I probably use social media every day, and the platforms I use are Facebook, Instagram, Threads. That's about it.
What do you spend the most time on?
Probably Facebook, yeah.
How has your social media use changed your daily life and or your relationships?
I would say
Friendships,
yes,
maybe.
definitely. You just kind of eventually realize you're probably going to be using your phone, whether it's social media or gaming or looking at news, doom scrolling. It's something we all kind of do almost several hours a day, even. So it definitely can affect relationships in a negative way. I think, especially if one person is more into it than the other, but it kind of seems like it's part of our culture now. Once you guys had access to the internet on the phones, it was kind of like the wild, wild west. There weren't automatic restrictions, and we didn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily know the technology enough to be on top of everything. So I definitely worry about for like you and Jack implications that could have, negatively.
Were you ever worried about, for us or for yourself, I guess, companies who own these social media platforms then and now gaining personal data on you or
Mm.
invading privacy, things like that,
Yeah,
like worried about internet safety?
for sure. That's a whole other side of, um, you know, being open in the internet and being advertised to and marketed to. You remember your dad and I were always kind of like funny with watching TV. We would change the channel when the commercials would come on, or if we listened to
Mm-hmm.
like regular terrestrial radio, we would switch the channel just because you get bombarded with information, especially now that everybody has a phone in their face. And it seems like over the years they just get more and more slick about advertising or the targeted advertising, and like you said, sharing of information, privacy,
Yeah.
using that information, that becoming a commodity is definitely a whole other side of it that is concerning.
You mentioned about targeted ads. Sometimes for me personally, like when I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see ads for Aerie or for like softball products or stuff like that, like I think, oh, like this is kind of cool that it's aimed towards me, but it's also kind of scary. Do you feel like you fall victim to targeted ads and like get sucked into them?
Definitely, I feel like I've succumbed to a an item or two that I saw on Facebook and then ordered, or Instagram or something. I don't do TikTok or Snapchat, but
Mhm.
uh yeah, definitely. Like you said, it's nice to be seeing things you want to see, but I've like bought things on something on Facebook, and then I just still get bombarded with the ad for it. And it's like, hey, I bought it.
Mm.
Like, give me a break. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it goes too far. It's
Mm.
scary to feel like your phone's always listening to you.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd said that you're mostly on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. You're most comfortable with those. Do you feel like different social media apps are targeted towards different demographics and you would feel more or less comfortable using like Snapchat or TikTok as
Right.
opposed to
Yeah.
Facebook?
No, I would agree. It's kind of like you almost can see like a generational divide there or gap, because I'm definitely more comfortable with that older school Facebook, Instagram,
Which is so
threads.
weird that it's like older school when it's
Right,
all
right.
so current. But
And then but like I almost feel like I'm too old to be on TikTok. And Snapchat, like, it was fun with the filters with you kids and stuff at first,
Mhm.
but then it's like I don't really need to be having secret disappearing conversations with people. I think that's
Mm,
like a slippery slope. I think that your generation has to deal with, like setting you
yes.
up in a program like that to almost like normalize sneaky behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can totally see that.